Okay, CS150, Structs Part 1. So far we've seen individual data types, int, double, even string, I guess we can count as a data type, even though it's a bit more complicated than that, char, bool, etc. And we've seen arrays, which are collections of elements that are all of the same type. But oftentimes we want a collection of related data that are different types to describe a single object. For example, a student. Student would have a name, would have a grade point average, number of credits completed, a class standing. Those are all going to be different types. And so our basic data types won't work. We can't describe a student just as an int or as a double. It's a collection of data. And arrays won't work either because those are collections of data that are all of the same type. So what we use is a struct. And a struct is a collection of fixed number of components, which the components are accessed by name. And these are usually of different types. And those different variables are called the members of the struct. So a struct is a definition, not a declaration. So we typically put them above main. So here's one for house. So it would have a style, perhaps this is an A-frame, number of bedrooms, 2, number of bathrooms, 1, number of cars in the garage, 1, year built, perhaps 1934, finished square footage, 1,068, price, goodness, we don't want to talk about housing prices, and the annual tax. We could then declare a variable of house type inside of main. For example, house type new house, or house in which I'm interested in. And then to access the member items of the struct, such as the year built, we can use the dot operator or the member access operator. So we can also do assignment, input, or output with that dot operator. So we can set the new house style to colonial, set its year built to 1941, the annual tax to $672.21, and then we can output the price of the house using cout. We could also get that information via input. Again, we get access to the individual member variables using the dot operator. The value of one struct variable can be assigned to another struct variable of the same type using an assignment statement. So if we wanted a new house to be equal to an old house and then just make a few changes, we can just do a basic assignment statement that'll copy all the members of the old house into the members of the new house. It basically does the entire set of assignment statements. We will see in 151 where we need to be a little bit careful with this. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to compare all the members of one struct with all the members of another. You can't use equal. So because with the struct type. So what you wouldn't want to do is compare all the individual components, but that makes for some mighty long if statements. So it might be best to overload that operator. I don't think we've gotten into how to do that, but it'll be a handy thing that we'll see a little bit later on in CS150. And like comparison, there's no aggregate input-output operators allowed on the struct variable. So again, we may want to make a function that does this where we do cout with all the member variables. Struct variables can be passed by value or by reference to functions. So we could use functions to input and output. Then this one is a print statement for house, and it would print out the contents of the struct variable. And we pass it house type. The parameter is a house as a parameter. So arrays and structs are a bit different. We can't really do arithmetic on either one, but struct we can do assignment. We can't do input output on either one, so we have to write special functions to do that comparison. We can't do that either. Arrays are passed by reference only, but structs can be either by value or by reference. And we can also return structs as a value from a function. So that's the presentation on the first part of structs. Thanks so much for listening.